Donald Peterson presents The True Adventures of Junior G-Men.
The Junior G-Men are on the air, speeding to your homes, ready for action.
Stand by. All Junior G-Men, stand by. Stand by for the thrilling details of the box office holdup. Calling all Junior G-Men. Stand by for report of Junior G-Men. Stuart Haft concerning
The Box Office Holdup.
Report number 909 is given by Operator Stuart Haft of Ridley.
Although I still go to school during the week, I have a little part-time job over at the Riviera Theater. I'm an usher, and while I only work Saturdays, the money I earn just about covers my weekly expenses. Well, one Saturday night after I'd finished with my regular duties, Mr. Clay, the manager, asked me to go out to the box office and tell Miss Roselle, the cashier, to begin checking the day's receipts. It was just a little after 10 o'clock. The last showing of the feature had already begun.
So Mr. Clay wants me to start checking the receipts, does he?
That's right, Miss Roselle.
Well, I've already checked the receipts.
You have?
Yes, Stuart, I have. I learned my lesson last week, you see.
What do you mean, Miss Roselle? What happened last week?
I was stuck here until after midnight. I made up my mind, though, that it would never happen again. And tonight well, I've a rather special reason for wanting to get away early.
Oh, I see. You got a date.
Well, your guess was a good one, Stuart. I have a date. And I'm not going...
Hey, miss.
Yes?
I want to buy a ticket.
Oh, but the last show's almost over. I'm afraid... Stuart, he's got a gun.
Take it easy, sister. Just relax. You can drape a smile over that pan of yours, too. Look a little better from the outside.
What do you want? What are you going to do?
I told you to take it easy, didn't I? Well, I ain't telling you again. Now, how about that smile? Well, how about it?
I can't smile. I just can't.
Well, don't look so scared, then.
All right, I'll try not to.
That's better. A little better, anyway.
Now, please, won't you tell me what you want?
Kind of dumb, ain't you, sister? You should guess by now. I want the dough, all of it. Come on, give me the dough.
You better do what he says, Miss Roselle. You better give him the money.
Stuart,
It's no use, Miss Roselle. We haven't got a chance. He's got a gun.
Yeah, I got a gun. If I don't get that dough in a hurry, I'm going to use it.
Wait, you can have the money. All of it, every cent.
Okay, then. Hand it over.
That strong box, Stuart. Close the lid and push it under the grill.
Okay.
Come on. Will you make it snappy there?
There you are.
And here I go. Oh, by the way, don't be doing any yelling, see? Neither of you. Not till I'm out of sight, understand?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then, just as long as we understand each other. Well, so long, pals, and thanks. Thanks a lot.
Stuart, what are we...
Easy, Miss Rochelle. Take it easy. He's looking back. There he goes. Around the corner. He's disappeared.
He has the money, and so is the money. Oh, Stuart, what are we going to tell Mr. Clay? What do we say?
Well, we'll just have to tell him about what happened. We better not waste any time, either. They'll probably want to send for the police and...
Yes, of course, the police. Oh, why did this have to happen? Why did this have to...
As soon as I told Mr. Clay what happened, he immediately called the police headquarters and reported the holdup. A couple of detectives were sent right down to the theater to investigate. And then after Miss Rochelle and I had done our best...
Mr. Clay.
Yes, Sergeant.
You're the manager of this theater, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And at present, I'm in complete charge. Mr. Harris, the owner, is out of town, you see. He left everything in my hands.
You weren't present, were you, when the robbery concurred?
No, sir, I was not.
Where were you?
Right here in my office.
Oh, by the way, Miss Roselle.
Yes?
Why were you so anxious to get away tonight?
What do you mean?
You were anxious, weren't you?
Why,
So anxious, in fact, that you went ahead and checked today's receipts before Mr. Clay asked you to do so. You told me that yourself.
Well, yes, I did, and it's true.
Yes, of course it's true. And a little irregular as well.
Look here, are you trying...
I'm trying to find out why you were so anxious to get away early.
Well, if you must know, I have a date.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, Miss Roselle, we won't keep you any longer.
You mean I may go?
Yeah, Miss Roselle, and have a good time.
Yes, Well, good night.
Good night. let her out of your sight for a moment. Now get going. Yes, sir.
Now, look here, Sergeant. You certainly can't suspect this girl of having...
Unfortunately, or fortunately, if you prefer, I can suspect anyone of anything. That happens to be a detective's privilege. As far as that girl is concerned, I'm just a little curious about the sort of company she keeps.
I see. You must admit, however, that this was obviously an outside job, an ordinary holdup.
Oh, on the contrary, Mr. Clay.
Oh, so that's it. You think it was an inside job? Well, that puts us all under suspicion, doesn't it?
In a way, I suppose it does. And now, young man,
Yes, sir?
suppose you tell me a little about the holdup itself. Just what was Miss Roselle's reaction when the thief approached the window? Did she seem frightened?
Well, after I'd given the detective all the information I possibly could, I was allowed to go home. I didn't hear any more about the case either until the following Saturday. Then when I arrived at the theater, I stopped at the box office to say hello to Miss Roselle. She seemed to be kind of worried about something. And all of a sudden...
I'm being followed, Stuart.
You mean?
The police.
Oh,
I've been watched ever since I left the theater last Saturday night. They think I... Oh, Stuart, what am I going to do?
well, there's nothing much you can do. I don't see why you're so worried. After all...
You don't understand, Stuart. You see, I'm afraid I had more to do with that holdup than you realize.
Gee whiz, Miss Roselle. You don't mean...
Remember that date I had last Saturday night?
Yeah?
Well, the man I was to meet didn't show up. And I haven't been able to see him since.
Well, what's that got to do with the holdup?
It was at his suggestion that I checked the receipts ahead of time. That I had all the money counted and packed in a strong box.
In other words, you think he was working with the actual thief? That he arranged everything so that the money could be packed up at a certain time? After he had all been packed up in the strong box?
I'm afraid that's it.
Well, why should he be so careful about the time? Hey, what's the difference? What it made to the thief when the holdup took place? Or whether the receipts had been checked? That's something I can't... Wait a minute. If the receipts had been checked, the money would have been in the strong box.
And if the money hadn't been in the strong box?
There would have been a lot of confusion at the box office as they pushed the bills and change into the grill. That would have delayed everything. It might have attracted some attention. As it turned out... Gee whiz, Miss Roselle. You'd better not waste any more time. You'd better give this information to the police right away.
I can't.
But you've got to.
I can't, I'm afraid. They wouldn't believe me. They'd think I was in on it. That I helped plan it.
They wouldn't think anything of the kind. I'm sure they wouldn't. The way it is, well, if you don't say anything, the police found out about themselves, well, then you'll be in a jam, in a real jam. You'll have an awful lot of explaining to do.
I hadn't thought of that. Oh, what'll I do?
There's only one thing to do. You've got to go to the police. You've got to tell them the whole story.
You're right, Stuart. I've got to go to the police. And I will. I will.
Well, Miss Roselle went right over to the headquarters and told the story to detectives who had been placed in charge of the case. When she finally finished...
This boyfriend of yours, the fellow you were supposed to meet last Saturday night, what do you call himself?
Jim Slater.
Jim Slater, eh? Where does he live?
27 Grand Street. He has a small apartment there.
I see. Now, you say you haven't been able to see him since he failed to keep that appointment.
That's right.
Have you tried to see him?
I called him several times, but he was never in.
Then he has a phone. His own?
Yes, his own.
Well, that's fine. That ought to help a great deal.
What do you mean?
It's like this, Miss Roselle. We're up against a pretty tough proposition. Before we can do anything else, we've got to establish a connection between the actual thief and this fellow Slater. And at the moment, we don't even know that such a connection really exists. And again, we don't know the identity of the man who came to the box office and held you up. That's what makes it so tough. Slater holds the key to the whole works. And unless we can trip him up, we'll never be able to prove a thing. I have a little plan, though, and I think it'll work. First of all, I'll have his telephone wire tapped. And I'll have a man listen in on every call, including the call you're going to make.
The call I'm going to make?
Yeah, you see, you're going to keep calling him until you finally get it. And then you're going to let him know that you suspect him. You'll tell him that you're going to the police with the information. And unless I'm very much mistaken, that'll just about put him on the spot.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
He'll have to make a call of his own. And he won't have a chance to waste any time either. He'll want to warn that friend of his as soon as possible. And when that call comes through, we'll have them. Both of them.
Oh, I see.
And now, Miss Roselle, I certainly want you to know that we appreciate your cooperation. I only wish you'd given us this information a little sooner. If you had,
Well, things worked out exactly as the detective figured they would. And that very same night, police headquarters
Look here, Copper, I want to know what this is all about. Why have you brought me here? Why are you
You
questioning
made a
me?
telephone call today, Slater.
Well, so what?
You called a man by the name of Larry Martin.
Well, I still say so what?
Larry Martin held up the box office of the Riviera Theater last Saturday night.
That's news to me.
Yeah, I'll bet. Bad news.
What do you mean, bad news?
We had Martin picked up right after you made that call, Slater. The boys have been working on him ever since. They told him you squealed on him. He believed them. And I suppose that's why he squealed on you.
I suppose you expect me to believe that.
Why shouldn't you? It's the truth. But here.
What's
Here.
this?
A copy of Martin's confession. Read it. Yeah, go ahead. Read it and weep. After you're finished, I'll take you around to Martin's.
And the whole thing was finally cleared up when Jim Slater admitted that he had framed the holdup, and Larry Martin had done the actual work. It was just another one of those things, you see. Another almost perfect crime. Just about as perfect as any crime will ever be. And that's not saying very much.
Stand by, all Junior G-men, stand by. Stand by for thrilling details concerning the next broadcast. Calling all Junior G-men to proceed at once to points of duty. Calling Junior G-man 369 to report to Director Donald Peterson at the next meeting on this station to give detailed report concerning
Another thrilling Junior G-Man adventure.